Being a dental practice owner can be so rewarding, but it also can come with a tremendous amount of stress. This is Mr. Grumbly, and he represents the number of times dental practice owners feel like crying inside. And I have two amazing guests and sponsors who are going to help you cry less inside. I would like them to introduce themselves to our audience and share what they do to help dentists cry less inside. Cassie, I'll start with you.
Sure. So I'm Cassie Talon. My business is out of Dallas called The Fractional Match. And I partner fractionally to do operational support for dental practices.
Awesome, Cassie. Something that is not talked about enough in dental school, and by not talked about enough, not talked about at all. The Krebs cycle has not helped me once as a dentist, but it would have been great to learn some of these business skills. So I now have my friend and long-term sponsor here, Bill. Bill, tell us, our audience, what you do to help dentists
Yeah,
cry.
great to see you, Paul. And yes, the Chiefs are my football team. And yes, we got beat. Yes, we got not just beat, but we got blown out by the second quarter, third quarter. So I'm just gonna get that out of the way so you can't
Okay,
harm me
you
with
did.
that.
I had that. That was why.
You had it in your holster. I knew it, and
Well,
I
we are
wasn't gonna let it
recording
happen.
This is the first game of the season for the Eagles to defend the Super Bowl. Good job with the Chiefs winning two. I'll give
They
you
they
that.
they've been to three. If they go to the next one and win, they'll match the Buffalo Bills, who've gone to four straight Super Bowls and won three of them instead of zero.
Sure, yes,
So
I was watching 30 for 30. It was interesting. I was watching the 30 for 30
yeah.
last week. It's
Hope
kind of funny.
springs eternal. But my name is Bill Ladd. Man, good to see you, Paul. It's been a long time. Uh, Love the group. I'm a partner at Duckett Ladd, Dental CPAs and Advisors. We really try to work to give folks financial clarity, so they can make great decisions in their business. And through that process, I think what we've learned is just how important operations are,
Yeah.
just from trying to help people who struggle with operations and seeing how they can kind of become stagnant and stuff. That's why, I love talking to people like Cassie who can help people with operations, because it's just so important. And really I'm excited because I think this is an opportunity, what we're going to be talking about today, for people to understand the interplay between finance and ops and how that can springboard you into
Yeah.
a really bright future.
Love that. I mean, what you guys are doing is I want to introduce here. I don't know if Bill even knows about this, but to set the stage for what we're going to talk about, my good friend Mark Costas came to Philadelphia and I made him a shirt that said biceps and EBITDA because that's all he cares about, making his biceps bigger and his EBITDA better. But then I have this phrase, people talk about growing their EBITDA, growing their practices. But before I get to my next acronym, tell us both, what pain comes from scaling, what challenges come. There's all these motivated dentists, Cassie, who say, I want to go from one to two to three practices. I want to have 15 associates. I want to have three locations. And sometimes they get there and they find out they're making less money. They're spending less time with their family. So tell us a little bit about some of the pain you've seen with unbridled enthusiasm, Seinfeld joke, to growing your EBITDA.
Yeah, I would just say that I see a lot of doctors with enthusiasm and a big dream to grow. And really, they have to first look at how do I become a turnkey operation that can go into any location with the fewest number of employees and the most effective and efficient model possible. And it really is achievable if you stop and pause for a moment and you take a look at your first clinic and say, is my aging where it needs to be?
Yeah.
Am I scheduling effectively? Am I seeing a large number of rejections and denials of claims? And drilling down, pardon the pun, but drilling down on what is it that I need to do to become as efficient as possible? And really my phrase is high tech, high touch, implementing solutions that bring in high tech, but still having that high level of direct touch with the patient so that you have a model that really creates a patient engagement and relationship for the long term.
I love that. I'm going to go to Bill next. Now, they say in golf you have two handicaps, one for bragging, one for betting, right? And I think we can apply this to dentistry because accountants know all your number secrets, right? So
Yeah.
I am sure, Bill, you've had a new client come to you who's been a dentist and say, I bring in $2 million a year. That's their bragging number. Okay. But then when you find out what their profit is, it is not in line with something that they would be proud of. They're coming to you with pain. I bring in $2 million, I only make $200,000 a year. Now I'm asking you as the accountant, the numbers guy, have you had people say, I want to grow and do this and make more money and found out the opposite's true money wise? Why does that happen with scaling? What are some of the dangers to your yearly income when you go from one to two to three practices?
Yeah, I think you bring up a really good point that a lot of times people come to us and the top line is like the drive, right? You know, that looks good. That's a 300-yard drive, and then you shank your second shot into the creek or the lake, and all of a sudden your margins are terrible. And what you realize is you don't have profit. You basically have a job. And what I tend to find that comes down to is there's not proper infrastructure in place to, number one, optimize your current practice. To Cassie's point, you know, your collections are terrible, and you know you're trying to pay all the bills and keep on top of all your labs and everything else, and the money's not coming in to the tune of 90% or 92% of what you should earn, which, number one, I think is a moral outrage that you're not getting paid for what you should do. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, that to me is so foundational. But anyway, you know, you could still, as a dentist, though, it seems like, get by and make a pretty decent living even without optimizing your practice. But a lot of times what we see that they do is they think, okay, well, if I just copy and paste it, then
Yeah.
all of a sudden maybe this 250,000 I'm making could become 500,000. But what they don't realize is that they don't have the systems in place to copy and paste to what Cassie's saying into a new practice. And so they start spreading themselves thinner than they were already.
Yeah.
And that's where we really start seeing people spending. You can kind of get away with it too, but man, by the time you try to go to a third location, there's just not enough of you to go around. And unless you have good operations and good systems in place, you're gonna bury yourself. And we do see it. We see that a lot.
And I love what you guys have both shared because I think it's important whether you're talking to a patient in the operatory or you're talking to us to position the pain and then talk about ways to prevent the pain. That's ideal, or
Yeah.
solve the pain if you have it. So you guys are doing an amazing event uh, where you're bringing dentists face to face, even though I'm the Facebook guy, face to face connections. Tell us about this event. When is it? What's going to happen at this event? My team is going to share. They can, text CPA to 215-543-6454 to get the best deal possible. My grandmother's right, Cassie. I am very special. So because you know me, through the sponsor deals, you can save $500 because dentists love saving money. Do they like giving discounts on their dental work? No, it's quite hypocritical, but they do love saving money themselves. Okay. So just now walk us through, when is this event and what are people going to learn at this event?
Yeah, it's October 3rd and 4th at Big Cedar Lodge, one of the best places to go play golf in the United States. It's a hidden gem. We've got one full day of CE, and then it's 6 hours of CE, and then the next day is golf. And so the goal is just to get a group of people together that really want to learn how to scale their business. The benefit of this is so much more than just hearing, best in class principles, but also challenging your own structural elements within the clinic and saying, is my CDT code usage correct? Am I missing value with each visit? Am I, clinically missing something with notation that's causing rejection of claims? So we're diving deep, and this event is about doctors leaving with tangible elements on how to grow their clinic and how to scale. I want doctors to be able to scale, and I don't want it to be a scary thing where they, take this leap and then it doesn't end up profiting them. And it really is about creating a future and the legacy that they want.
And I think also, I was just talking, one of my dental school classmates, who's an amazing guy, Dr. Jason Tenori, is opening a 45 operatory dental practice. Pretty unreal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure he sometimes sits there and thinks, do I even want this thing? When he's doing that thing, right? I don't think you can return it, but it's normal for him to think, do I want this thing, right? And I think another part of it is like, do you even want to do this, right? Is it like the thing you even want to do? Because maybe optimizing your core practice can be more exciting to you. And I'll share before we go to Bill's, if you want to scale your dental practice and your dental business, one of the must-dos is you must like working with other dentists because you need associate dentists to do this. And I don't know if you know about dentists. We can use many analogies. Not always the best play nice in the sandbox people. I don't know if you've seen online. So I think that's just a corporate. And when people master it, right, and they get it, and they're like, our amazing Job Connect client, Dr. Arash Amadia, who has multiple practices. I know him. It can be spectacular. But I think that's another part. Bill, anything you want to share about the event, from the golf to the content to, anything that happens in Missouri? Does everyone have to be a Chiefs fan to go, or can you come as an Eagles fan?
Well, first of all, I do agree with Cassie. It's a hidden gem. Big Cedar is kind of rustic lodge flair, but it also has a core Crenshaw course. It has a Tiger Woods course. I mean, it is a world-class golf destination. So, and it's great for families too. So we're trying to encourage people to use it as a time to get away, have a real quick, long weekend with your family at a relatively low cost of living type vacation destination, drivable for a lot of people in the Midwest. But what I love about the event is I think it's going to flow really well, almost kind of from the foundational concepts that we look at and say, number one, you have to have your finances in order to even know where you're at, right? I think that they tell a story, and I think they can really help you diagnose your practice, just pull in your numbers. And so we're going to actually reach out to our attendees and say, bring your financials, bring production data. We want to actually have data in hand because we don't want this to be a lecture. We want this to be a workshop. And I think it's going to allow us to have financial, foundational conversations about how that should look, and then interweave in when we're diagnosing our practice and we can see something's wrong, what can you do operationally that Cassie can speak into? How can that create to do so you can actually go back with a plan and say, this is what I'm going to tackle when I get back. And I think this will be the result that we'll see. And then what's really cool is capping off the event is we've got our friend Kevin Cumbus with Tusk, who's going to come and kind of give a state of the M&A world,
Yeah.
and just talk about how solid financial foundations coupled with excellent operations, what does that do to the asset that you're building? And you are building an asset. If you look at it like you're building a job, you're missing a huge component of what you could potentially do. So we're really excited to have Kevin join us, and he's going to kind of speak to, you get this stuff dialed in, you have good data. What does that do in the marketplace? What
It
does that do
sounds
to
like,
the
Bill, and I love all of this. It sounds like at this event, you can learn how to build your championship team that dominates the Super Bowl so much that they have to put their backups in at the end of the game, like the Eagles. But as we wrap up, I want to surprise you guys with, we talk about EBITDA, but I don't think people talk about this enough. I'll kind of say, what is your SBITA? Okay. So that is more important than EBITDA. And I'll share what SBITA is. And this is my phrase, and it stands for, you guys to actually take a screenshot, Nacho team, of us with this here. I want to make sure we get the good screenshot. Now, what does this stand for, guys? And I'm sure you'll be talking about this a lot, whether you know it or not. And that is stress building inside towards dentisting annoyance. And that is, and the way you track this, Cassie and Bill, is how many times do you cry inside a day? Is it 30? We're going to bring that down to 20. So, so appreciate you guys sharing with me. This has been an awesome episode here. If we have time to cram in a Rocky 2 before the event, let me know. Please share about it on the Facebook group. We'll send this out to our amazing people in the Dental Nachos community. You guys are doing the work of the Lord G.B. Black. He was a famous dentist in helping dentists scale with sanity. Thank you so much for sharing today.
So much.
Paul.